maybe writing new music, maybe composing other stuff?
I personally feel like, I think our mind also needs rest. We've been just running all of our lives, and then suddenly you feel like you've left your soul behind sometimes. And it's time to catch up and go deeper. And especially the past 5-6 years have been a chaos. The whole world was changing, and it was like we were human, but then we were operated by machines of corporate machines and capitalist machines or whatever. And even if you want to slow down, you couldn't. And so in a way, I felt like this whole slowdown philosophically was a good thing. It's a good thing. And I hope it ends in a positive way where we learn from this and we are united and we're more kind to people.
And you're such a genuine person. I've seen your interviews before, and you're very calm, you're very collective. Now, my question to you is, you may not get these questions before, but I want to kind of know more about you. Who do you dedicate your success to? Because obviously you've done amazing, Lord of the Rings, Slumdog Millionaire, Grammy, Academy. I mean, you've done so well for a guy from India that you've portrayed around the world, come to Hollywood, people like me, 28 years old, from London and English, know about you and knowing that, that you've got a great name. Now, who do you dedicate your success to?
I keep saying this always, and I firmly believe that, I even in the Oscars, I said, Ella Pogada Miravenike. That means all my success I owe to God. I believe in destiny and also believe in hard work. I try to be as sincere and honest and integrated within myself. And this life is about giving, whether it's music or whatever energies or whatever you have. You find more reason to live when you start giving, and whatever you can. It could be basically a smile, for instance, or so the more you give, the more you get. And whether it's knowledge or music or sincerity or other philanthropic things which we try to do, it gives us a much more better reason to live. And otherwise you get depressed. Depression is, in a way, I feel like, is a stagnation of your soul, where you find there's no reason to live, or you get frustrated by lack of progress within you, spiritual progress. And each one of us have different ideas of depression. And I find I was, in my past, when I was growing up, I was pretty depressed because from a small town. And the only way my mother gave me this piece of advice, said, like, you get the suicidal thoughts and don't think about yourself, you think about others, what you can do to others, how we can bring people up. And that one thing changed my life. And she said, you live for others and then you'll find meaning in your life. And that's probably the best advice I ever got from my mother.
Ralph, question after you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Rahman. It's great to kind of have this opportunity to be able to, face even in the camera. You mentioned about suffering. People have left their soul behind. Maybe it's time that, the world kind of got time to think about it. So, you raised some clear issues. Do you think that people will kind of carry these things forward after this pandemic and it'll kind of make a difference in our lives?
I think the most phenomenal thing just happened in the world after the World War, I think, is this. We are all involuntarily kind of locked. Like, even by choice, we can't go out. I mean, really, like going without friends and going for a concert, me performing in front of these thousands of people. It all seems like like a dream now. You can't do that now. I don't know how long. The world has changed. The world has changed. People, I was involved in a lot of global warming things and climate change things, and like Hands Around the World. And we did a song, but now it seems like nature is taking care of itself. And and like how it takes the shape of a container. I feel like human beings have this extraordinary ability to rise up and to reinvent, to rediscover our ways of lives. And I think the time has come for that. Thinking about a whole humanity rather than individuals or being individual nations. Or I think you have to think about the whole world, because if one person suffers, this shows that one person can send that suffering to the whole world. That's inevitable, and nobody can, no force could stop it. Even the most powerful nations couldn't stop it. And
you're so sorry, after you, sir. After you, sorry, my mistake. After you.
Good.
No, after you, Mr. Rahman, please. After you. What were you saying?
Yeah, so it is. It seems like a lesson, because I always try to think what could be the positive thing about this. In my learning, I always feel like every negative has a half positive hidden, and every positive has a half negative hidden in it. And if we discover that, we are like in a Zen saint mode.
And you're so in demand, Mr. A. Rahman. I mean, people would love to work with you. Now, in India, there's 1.2 billion people. And, there are young people out there. And I know that there's young people out there that you've nurtured, that you've mentored. I know that you're very fond when it comes to young people, and they have great talent and you nurture them. Now, who do you, as a great music composer like yourself, right? You see somebody, right? Now, you meet somebody and go, well, you've got a great look, you've got a great voice, but your attitude is very wrong, right? Sometimes, people think, yeah, I'm Mr. Cool, I'm hanging out with Mr. Rahman, but at the same time, the attitude is a bit, it's a bit kharab. In India, we say kharab. It's a bit like, it's wrong. What choices do you make when you want to meet young people, when you nurture people? What do you look for? What's the key? What kind of key people do you look for?
The whole beauty of what our artists are, they should be different, and not everybody should be the same. Not everybody needs to be humble. Not everybody. At the same time, if it's going to elevate their style, sometimes the ego which they have, a creative ego, kind of elevates the style and makes them feel like, this is what I am, so I have to rise up to this level, and I will be like. It's a charming thing which is competitive. It becomes even personally, if they have that ego, the personal ego and creative ego. Personal ego kind of damages people. And
do you meet them? Do you meet them? You must meet a lot of people like that, But then you kind of, how do you tolerate that? Because as a journalist, I meet great celebrities. I'm so blessed to meet great people like yourself. But I always try and keep myself humble, and I always try and make good connections. Now, how do you tolerate with people like that? Do you just shy away from it and go, well, that's not really something I really want to talk about? How do you deal with that?
No, I don't judge people. I accept them the way they are. And if I find it's jarring for so I move away, and it's fine, because the world is full of interesting people. And I think that the world becomes colorful when you meet different people, and when they have their own personality. Personality is very, very important. If there's no personality, everybody would sound the same. Everybody trying to be like somebody else, and they fail. And if they actually blossom or light up with the ego in the art, that's a good thing, because ego is a good thing for art, in artistic way, but not in a personal way. In a personal way, you start burning bridges and doing all those things. That's bad for you. But having an ego in your work, my work should be the best in the world, and that actually pushes your personal level and takes you up. I can't be flat. I'm very good in it. If somebody thinks like that and they strive towards excellence, that's a good ego, right? But if they start burning bridges and start abusing other people, oh, you're not good. That's
rude. It's just rude. It's just rude. Absolutely. Tell me about Slumdog Millionaire. Tell me about Lord of the Rings. These are films that I've been brought up with. Lord of the Rings.
So Lord of the Rings. Okay, to correct you, Lord of the Rings. I was co-composer for this musical on stage in London. And the other band called Vachana, we both co-composed. And also my musical was Bombay Dreams. Andrew Lloyd Webber, who produced Bombay Dreams. So that was in London in 2003-4, I think. And then it went to Broadway. And
very well. Congratulations on that. Congratulations.
You might have seen all those when you were a kid. You might have seen all those posters in the buses, Rahman's Bombay Dreams.
Of course I have, 100%. And how was it? And obviously, you won. I mean, the success of Slumdog Millionaire, Dev Patel, Danny Boyle. I mean, it was a low budget film or a medium budget film that wasn't, didn't have, the great stars, but at the same time, you did incredibly well. What was your feeling like when you won the BAFTAs, the Academy Awards, the Oscars, and you, because you also, remember at the same time, you represent India, you represent Chennai. So the Chennai musicians, what was that feeling like for you?
I was, I think 2008 was almost 17, 18 years of my career. So I started in 92. And so for me, I've done scores without any expectations, always. And it's just for my personal satisfaction. And when I get satisfied, I feel like people get satisfied. And it was always the case, whether it was not about low budget or high budget. The amount of energy was always, based on what is the deadline, how much time do you have, not how much money you have.
Yeah.
So if there's more deadline, like I start keep refining things. I start adding things. So, and people say, no, there's a low budget. Why do you want to put so much? It's like, it's my music, man. So
exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
So that's the whole attitude. I still have the same thing, whether I do something for free or whether I get paid. If the sincerity is like, what does that piece of music, that piece of art require? And does it require 10 days of my life or 1 hour of brainstorming? And that's the way. But so I think that whole period where it was like a slot machine gone wrong or gone bussick. So it was like showering awards, like even before the Oscars, there were like 47 awards from every state of the US.
Amazing.
And then the ultimate thing was the Oscars. And so it still seems like a dream. That whole thing feels like this is like God saying, okay, take it all. You worked for 17 years, 18 years. And
well done.
And through this movie, I'm giving you all this stuff. But then how do you carry that stuff? You can't just carry all your awards in the head, because the next challenge is not how much awards you got, how good you do music is more important.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons why most of the people who get awards are want to retire. But I feel like I'm still young. I don't want to retire, but I want to just spread this love and, nurture these kids from the Sunshine Orchestra or K Music Conservatory, or try to connect using this power which I have now, winning this Oscars. I can just call anybody and then they would answer back, So I had that kind of a power which I gained from this. I'm a member of the Academy, a member of the Grammy, Recording Academy and all this stuff. So what do you do with this knowledge? How do you guide the other people who are actually to achieve something, they go on the wrong way and they're frustrated. They're like, no, you have to take this road to go read this thing. That's simple things which, so right now also I'm trying to do some workshops with phenomenal directors from Hollywood so they can share the knowledge here and we can share some of the knowledge with them and stuff like that.
Excellent. Ralph, question after you.
Mr. Rahman, you kind of have redefined contemporary Indian music in a changing new world. What is your plan for the future beyond 2020 and post-pandemic?
I personally feel I've done a lot of fun stuff. I've done things to Indian movies which might have been too much, or just for the change, just for the heck of change. Like my first movie had a fully part hybrid electronic score, with filters and synths and everything. And some of them had folk, some of them had classical, Indian classical, some of them had Western classical, Messenger of God. I worked with the Iranian director Majid Majidi, who wanted a very orchestral kind of a score. So it depends on what people want. But now I feel I'm more gravitating towards our culture, Indian culture, and how we can use all these new things, new tools just come in, and to expand our musicality, how do you tie it all up? Because you have extraordinary talents all over, but what will happen if they're together? Like you see a symphony, and then there's a sense of unification in that, and together all these people, or 80, 100 people, produce one sound, one emotion. They're not like 80 different people. So what would happen if Indian music has such kind of ideas? And so these are the things I'm toying with. And so these are too early to discuss, but as you get older, you always feel you go back to the base and see what else you can do.
And also, there are going to be millions of people that are going to watch this around the world. No doubt about that. What advice would you give to young people out there? Because I know that you're like, when it comes to music composing, it's A.R. Rahman. There's no one bigger. Fair enough. And that's my opinion. Maybe because I'm a big fan of you as well. But yeah, it's true. But what advice would you give to young people out there? I know, because all these artists, they say, yeah, I'm going to do this, do that. But, people always don't sorry, after you. I'm just sorry.
I personally feel like you can become anything, but you just have to start first. First show up. And that how an architect plans, he has, if he wants to build a 100-floor building, he has to plan everything first and become the architect of your life. Then plan that I need to reach there. Do a self-estimation. No, I'm good at this, good at this, good at this. I have to get better at this. So take each day as it counts and be passionate. Steadfastness is very important. So when you do that, then you, even without you realizing, in 3 years, 4 years, you become good at something. Because the life is long, and then you just take the path. You can't just suddenly go jump 10 years and see where you are. And this process actually, so finding yourself is very important. They say if you find yourself, you find God. And finding yourself in the sense, what are you good at? So you look at the mirror in the sense, your talent mirror, your spiritual mirror. Look at yourself and say, this is what I am, and this is what I should become. So if you carefully plan that, you don't get frustrated, and you have a reason to travel that path. And in that path, be kind to people, and they will be kind to you, of course, if you are kind to them.
And also, there was a recent interview, a great interview, actually. I think that someone asked you, because you have a beautiful name, and your other name as well, Dilip Kumar. Is that right? Dilip Kumar, is that right?
My old name, yeah.
Yeah, your old name, yes. Why did you, who gave you the idea of changing that name? Because, was it a musical aspect? Was it because someone, just for us, that's all. I'm know it anyway, but just who inspired you to change?
So, yeah, I never, strangely, didn't like my name, Dilip Kumar. I never liked it. And so I had this, because my father passed away and we went through the stuff. I always had this inferiority complexes and then suicidal thoughts. So suddenly when I built my studio, which I'm sitting here, I felt a certain kind of energy which changed. Like things I did got accepted, and I was doing jingles. And that's when I felt like, I think I need a new identity. I need to move into this new identity, which I'm becoming, which was never there before. This hope and this light, which in front of me was never there before. So I want a new identity. And then I was with the help of Sufi, teachers who were guiding me in a way, not on and off. And there was no force in that. You had to do this, nothing. It's just out of my instinct, internal instinct, which made me choose. And the long story short, I wanted to change my identity, become 2.0.
That's all right. And actually, Rav, question after you. Last couple of questions for you.
Yeah, Mr. Rahman, you just mentioned the word suicidal thoughts. Mental issues are big problems, today for young people, even for older people. what kind of advice can you give them, like, because you did mention the word God, people, someone who believes in God, and how can we kind of something that you can tell people how they can overcome this kind of issues?
Well, for instance, there's suffering in every level. There's suffering in every level. But if you look at life and you can find that there are more suffering, and you are actually gifted with many things that a lot of people don't have. For instance, you have clean water, you have some money, you have some food, you have a shelter, you have a family. And so you are part of that picture. You can't just suddenly scrap out and make that picture incomplete. It's very, very important to realize. And as I said before, when you live for others, when you become a reason for many other things, then you feel like you've been wanted, and not wanted. You feel like you are necessary to complete the picture of the thing. So whatever little you can do is definitely gratifying within yourself, within your soul. When you help, it's not to the other people, actually it's helping yourself to find a reason to live. And whether it's your art, or whether it's your company, or whether you're dealing with kindness, and you becoming a reason for other people's livelihoods, a livelihood. And then I think that aspect is very, very beautiful. Human service in different ways actually lights you up. And it gives you hope, and saying that, oh, what will happen if I don't teach that little kid? What will happen if I don't have that family? And what will happen if I don't have that singer? Or if something happens good to them, then you feel like it's part of your success. And so when I won the Grammy and Oscars, that's what I told, like, I didn't win it for myself, I won it for all of you, to my musicians, co-musicians in Chennai. I said, because there's something which is so unique that I felt like I'm one among you, and I grew up with you, and I won it for you. So you can call it yours. And so that's exactly, I said in many interviews locally to our friends. And yeah.
And also, I don't want to take your time too much, and I really appreciate it. When Ralph asked you the question, what's your next projects? Now, I know that you sold out Wembley, you've sold out concerts. Now, obviously, coronavirus, fair enough. The social distancing, people can't chat, you can't have dinner, you can't even have a drink with someone, you can't even go for a coffee without standing 2 meters away. Now, where do you think the industry is going to be now? Because obviously, as an artist like yourself, as a great composer, the thrill is about selling out tours. Now, do you think it's all going to be online now? Do you think this Zoom thing is going to be the next thing? Do you think this is it? Or, YouTube? I know you've got a great social media following on Twitter, but do you feel like the concerts are not going to happen anymore? Do you think this is all going to change now? Or do you think it'll all come back together?
As I told you, like everything will take the shape of what the reality is. Our knowledge takes the shape of what is available, what is not. And I think people now redefine and reinvent things, how concept. There's VR and virtual reality. There's mixed reality. There's all the stuff which is coming, which has been ignored in a way. Past 4 or 5 years, very few elite or esoteric crowd had this, experience of what VR could do, and all that could become a reality. Like the VR, virtual reality becomes the real reality. Where what you watch in virtual reality is definitely far, like probably 20, 30 times more superior than what you watch on flat screens. And all that might take off, and then we might be watching things with our family, maybe far in this virtual reality together. And all that, because even the net speed has increased, the technology has increased, and so maybe other things will be discovered, and maybe it's time for that. When something stops, many other things open up. I always believe in life, and one door closes, many doors open.
And you've also, congratulations, you've also released something. You've also released a new single, is that right? Or something recently in the press that I saw a couple of days ago. I think your assistant texted me saying that you've released something. Can you tell me about that project and and what this is?
The single is from a movie called Cobra, which stars Vikram.
Excellent.
And Shruti. It's directed by Ajay, and it's a Tamil song. And I started with Tamil and always loved doing Tamil audience. They're very, very, very loving, and they expect a great deal from me. This expectation actually makes me work harder.
Okay. I'm going to ask you 5 fan questions, because I know people out there, yes, we've talked about your work. Now I want to know about Mr. Rahman himself, despite work. What's your favorite food?
Oh God. I'm not a complicated person. Well, Chinese used to be my every week outing when we used to go with family, but now Chinese is banned in India.
Lovely. That's all right. That's all right.
I'll have my idli dosa.
Yeah, dosa. I love dosa. Love very much dosa. I love dosa. What's your favorite sport, despite cricket? I don't want to hear cricket.
Sport. I'm zero in sport. Like, the only sport I used to do was cycling when I was in teens, and even that is impossible. So zero, just always in the studio, or just doing some workouts and then going on stage. That's it.
Fantastic. Rav, question after you. Direct question, please.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've done in life?
The craziest thing, I've produced a movie. So I'm just, yeah. So I think it's one of the craziest things. So in this past 10 years, I've been learning completely alternate about filmmaking, about script writing, about stories, about virtual reality, and then I directed a movie called Le Masque on virtual reality, which is on the last stages of post-production.
Fantastic.
So it's a sensory project, and it's got sent as a screenplay also. It's written in the screenplay. So it's got smell and audio and 360 3D.
Right. And when you're not working, are you more of a dinner person? Are you a candlelight dinner? Do you like going out for drinks? Are you a clubbing man? I mean, obviously, I know Rahman can't go out going clubbing in the middle of London or the middle of, India, because you probably get hounded. But what's your sort of, are you a cocktail man? Not cocktail, obviously virgin cocktail. But are you a dinner person? I mean, what do you like to do when you're not working? When you're just Mr. Rahman himself?
I think movies. Just watch movies. And I'm interested in philosophy, and I watch videos of those kind of things, learning different theories, and estimating where I stand, or are they in unison with my thoughts, or there's something else different. And yeah, that's it. And
what about the British films? What British films do you like? I know you've worked on Slumdog, which is great. Danny Boyle, the great Danny Boyle, Dev Patel, Frida Pinter. What about British films? What do you think of British films compared to Indian films? I mean, obviously Indian films is very much punching and tuppad and everything, but do you watch British films?
Yeah, I worked with Danny Boyle, and Slumdog Millionaire is a British film too. And Anna Carolina, I think Anna Carolina, is it? I love that movie. And what other British films? I don't remember.
There's only one Slumdog. Raf, last direct question for you.
Yeah, Mr. Rahman, you come from Chennai. I was born in Sri Lanka. We have a lot of Tamil friends in London. What can you tell my Tamil friends and the rest of the Tamil people around the world?
Keep rising up.
Right.
Love that. And I'm going to ask you 2 serious questions, and then we'll let you enjoy your day. George Floyd, You heard about George Floyd recently. Sad situation. The police officer was a terrible person. That's my opinion. What was your opinion about the whole situation?
Yeah, it's hundreds of centuries. The pain is not just George Floyd. It's been happening for centuries, and it just came out. And I feel like this whole. I hope that people realize. I think that most of the times it's just convenience which make people think that this race is superior or this race is inferior and everything. And it's important. There's a representation in mainstream media. There's representation of all the communities where there's no convenience, which is convenience is not an option, and you need to coexist. You need to coexist, and the whole world is getting divided day by day, just because lack of understanding and ignorance about another culture or another color, and the perspective about beauty, that fair skin is superior, or dark skin is not, or brown skin, whatever, all the stuff. And I think it's time where a new world is being born, and it's a sign of it. Any birth always gives pain, and I feel this new world is going to be beautiful, and it'll have equal share.
And the great legends, Irfan Khan, I know you work with him, Rishi Kapoor, these people have sadly passed away, great actors. And also
Sushant
Singh, yes.
Yeah.
You beat me to that.
I've done his last movie. I've just finished the score for all the songs. You just mixed all the songs today.
Was he a lovely boy? Was he a nice guy? Was he nice to chat to?
I never met him. I just met him on the stage once.
Right.
And it's so unfortunate and so tragic, for a person doing that kind of a thing, it may be, instant happiness that they give away this world and go to a better world, hopefully. But for the people who love